In this video, we honor the anniversaries of notable celebrities and public figures who have died this week in history. I'm Linnea Crowther with Legacy.com, the website where you can find any obituary or publish one for someone you care about. Actor Charlton Heston died this week in 2008 at the age of 84 of complications from Alzheimer's disease. He was one of the biggest movie stars of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Heston was known for his expressive style of acting, which came from years doing Shakespeare on stage. He was the face of Hollywood's most epic blockbusters, from The Ten Commandments to Ben-Hur. We also remember him for science fiction classics like Planet of the Apes, The Omega Man, and Soylent Green. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. was killed 55 years ago this week. He was only 39 years old when he was assassinated at a motel in Memphis. Dr. King was America's most inspirational leader in the movement to end racial segregation. His stirring speeches helped build support for the new civil rights laws of the 1960s. King's legacy is most widely remembered in his 1963 I Have a Dream speech. His memory is now honored with a national holiday each January. Singer and songwriter Tammy Wynette died 25 years ago this week after many years of health issues. She was 55. Wynette is remembered as one of the first country music artists whose songs put a woman's perspective front and center. Her hit 1968 song, Stand By Your Man, became an instant classic. She would go on to sell over 30 million records. She is in the Country Music and Nashville Songwriters Halls of Fame. Film critic Roger Ebert died 10 years ago this week after a long struggle with cancer. Throughout his career, he helped make film criticism accessible for mainstream audiences. Ebert was still in his early 20s when he became the film critic for the Chicago Sun-Times. There, he became one of the first critics to declare that the then unknown Martin Scorsese would become a great filmmaker. We remember Ebert for his partnership with Gene Siskel. From 1975 to 1999, the duo brought film analysis to the masses with their thumbs up or thumbs down system. Comedian and actor Don Rickles died 6 years ago this week of kidney failure at the age of 90. For 6 decades, he was one of the most recognizable people in comedy. Rickles made audiences laugh in movies like Kelly's Heroes and during celebrity roasts. We also remember him for his dramatic acting in movies like Run Silent, Run Deep and Martin Scorsese's Casino. Singer and songwriter Merle Haggard died 7 years ago this week after complications from pneumonia. He had been diagnosed with lung cancer 8 years prior. Haggard is remembered as one of the most successful songwriters of his day. He scored 38 #1 singles on the country charts, including Today I Started Loving You Again, If We Make It Through December, The Fight Inside of Me, and Okie from Muskogee. Comedian Mickey Rooney died 9 years ago this week at the age of 93. Rooney's career began in the silent film era and continued into the 21st century. We remember him for roles in films like The Black Stallion, Girl Crazy, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, Captain's Courageous, and Night at the Museum. Actress and singer Annette Funicello died 10 years ago this week at age 70 after a long struggle with multiple sclerosis. We remember her as one of the most popular Mouseketeers on the Mickey Mouse Club. We also remember her for her singing career, which included songs like Tall Paul. Singer and songwriter Kurt Cobain died by suicide 29 years ago this week at the age of 27. As the leader of the band Nirvana, Cobain spoke to a generation of rock fans with songs such as Smells Like Teen Spirit, Come As You Are, and All Apologies. Bandleader Buddy Rich died this week in 1987 at the age of 89. Rich led a series of successful jazz bands starting in the 1930s. He is remembered as one of the most influential musicians of his time. Many drummers cite Rich as one of the best to ever play. Enigmatic business tycoon Howard Hughes died this week at age 70 in 1967. Hughes was a filmmaker, pilot, and aircraft designer, and is remembered for being one of the world's richest people. He became reclusive in his later years, making him an enduring figure of mystery. Singer and songwriter Edwin Starr died of a heart attack 10 years ago this week. He was 61. We remember Starr for his 1970 hit, War, which was a #1 single for 3 straight weeks. Actress Priscilla Lane died of lung cancer this week in 1995. She was 79. We remember her for her role in Arsenic and Old Lace, where she acted opposite Cary Grant. She is also remembered for her role in Alfred Hitchcock's Saboteur and for playing alongside James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart in The Roaring Twenties. Journalist and TV personality Mike Wallace died 11 years ago this week at 93. We remember Wallace for his many years as a correspondent on 60 Minutes. Actor Warren Oates died of a heart attack at 53 this week in 1982. Oates is known for his tough guy roles in films like The Wild Bunch, Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, and In the Heat of the Night. We also remember him as Sergeant Hulka in the 1981 comedy Stripes. Actress Beatrice Straight died of pneumonia 22 years ago at age 86. We remember her as a Broadway star and for her Academy Award-winning performance in Network. She won despite only having 5 minutes of screen time, the shortest Oscar-winning performance in history. Game designer Dave Arneson died of cancer this week in 2009. Arneson is remembered as one of the co-creators of Dungeons & Dragons. Since its introduction in 1974, the game has become one of the most popular in the world. Every Friday, our channel publishes a news video paying tribute to the most recent celebrities and other public figures whose deaths have made headlines. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.